In today's video, I'm going to try to win a grand challenge using every single card inside of Clash Royale. Alright guys, so what this means is after every single win I get, I have to use a different deck using different cards in it. So for the first couple games, I decided to use pretty much the worst possible decks you could use inside of the game just to get these bad cards out of the way, because the further you get in the challenge, the more difficult it is. That's why I figured it would be smart to use just some decks that just make absolutely no sense early on, which is why we're starting out with a 3 Musketeer Elixir Golem deck, because it just has so many cards in it that just, quite frankly, don't really make any sense. Unfortunately, that does go down there, our Musketeer, but we were able to deal with that Electro Giant, I would say, pretty decently. I mean, it could have been worse. It did help us that he did miss the lightning, so... but we still lost half of our tower. Again, things are going to be challenging because of this deck. And as you can see, it has Furnace in it, Barbarian Hut, just a ton of cards that are pretty trash. But on the plus side, the Barbarian Hut actually does do quite good against the Electro Giant. So hopefully we do have that going for us. I guess we'll see. So he's setting up with a Golden Knight. I'm going to go for a Wizard here. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, so he does go for an Electro Giant again. Let's get a Barb Hut going here. This should easily counter this Electro Giant, I'm pretty sure. There's no way he's going to break through this. Pretty much no chance. So that Lightning was pretty aggressive there on his end. I almost wonder if we could go for an Elixir Golem now, because we're going to get the Barbarians from the Barb Hut coming in behind. It's actually not going to be as much as I thought it would be, though. But we're going to go for a Healer as well, because this might be our kind of biggest chance of getting something going here. I kind of want a clone right now, but I don't think it would be a good idea. But still, that's a massive amount of damage we're getting right there. We're going to be able to get his tower pretty much so close to being taken out. Pretty dang close. We're going to go Furnace here. Maybe we mirror the Furnace. That, I feel like, could be a good play. Or you know what we should actually do? We're just going to go ahead and go 3 Musketeers right here to hopefully DPS down. And let's actually go for our clone on top of them now, just to get more of them. As you can see, 2 of the Musketeers are locked on that Electro Giant. He goes in for the NATO. The tower's not in lightning range, though. It is not in lightning range. So, he needs more stuff to take it out. Like, he's going to have to go for another Electro Giant push, for sure. So, I'm hoping we can capitalize off of this counter push right here. We mirror the Battle Healer, and just like this, it's looking more and more like we're actually going to be able to win this game here with this crazy deck. Let's go ahead and unmute as well, just to see if this guy has any sort of reaction losing to this deck. I mean, this is just kind of insane. This guy's just, I don't know, probably like speechless right now. I mean, like, look at his King Tower. He just doesn't even have, like, he just doesn't have anything to break through. He knew the lightning wouldn't be enough. So we start things off here with a nice 3 crown, and then we get into the next deck. So this is the deck we have for game 2. Definitely way better than the first deck, but not that good still. Alright, so for game number 2 here, we still kind of have a spawner spam type of deck, but at least it makes a little bit more sense than the first one. Don't have a ton of buildings, we only have 1 spawner instead of 2. And then we, you know, have some spammy cards with it, like the Skeleton Barrel, Rascals, Firecracker, so you could kind of say this is almost like a bait type deck. And then we do have Royal Hogs as well, which of course are a way better win condition than the Elixir Golem is. So let's see what we can do with this deck. Firecracker kind of coming in clutch, taking out that Mega Knight. And then we could probably send in the Royal Hogs here with this Firecracker. His Mega Knight is out of rotation, so it's a very good time for us to do so and do this pressure. So the Royal Hogs are getting loads of damage on top of the tower. Ewiz not really doing much there on top of the Royal Hogs. I should have probably waited to play Skeleton Dragons until the Ewiz crossed over, but still, as you can see, it doesn't really matter. We end up dealing a lot of damage on his tower. We pretty much already took it. We just have to go for one more set of Royal Hogs, and we pretty much got it. So that Firecracker is kind of annoying. It's going to be quite good against these Rascals, so we'll see what we can do here, but I'm hoping the Rascal Girls are going to be able to do enough DPS. Yeah, they do a pretty good job overall. I mean, that could have been way worse. I was kind of worried that Pekka was going to take my tower, to be honest, but we managed to save the tower. We're in a way better position than he is, and as bad as this deck is, I have to say, his deck isn't that great either. Because I had the king activation, I decided to just ignore that goblin barrel. Might seem like kind of a dumb play, but I want to keep my elixir advantage because I'm confident that he won't get much more damage as long as I defend well. And if I used a delivery on top of that barrel, if he decided to pressure with something with the elixir lead, he would have, and I don't know what the rest of his deck is. I think there's 1 or 2 cards he hasn't used, so he could have like a surprise card, and I just want to make sure that I have the elixir to defend it, because now at this point we can easily, or we should easily be able to defend. Now that I saved that elixir, we're in double now, so we just gotta have solid defense and we're gonna be alright here. So we're gonna go skeleton dragons on top of that firecracker. And as you can see, we got a whole, like, army here. We got the rascals coming in, the witch, the spear goblins, pretty much everything you can possibly imagine, everything that you would need to defend. We got down. We're going to set up another goblin hut here. He's going to mirror his Ewiz, so we have the delivery at the ready for his goblin barrel if he does choose to play it. So we want to be careful to save it for that. He might even try to get a mirror barrel going as well, so we do got to kind of watch out for that. We're going to wait for the Mega Knight to jump before I play the Rascals. There's the barrel, so we're going to get a delivery down on top of that. And because he went zap, he can't go for the mirror barrel. And even if he did, we have so much stuff here that we would have been able to defend it without taking too much damage. So that's going to be a nice win here in game 2. So even though this deck was pretty bad, his deck wasn't that great either. It's honestly kind of hard to say between our 2 decks whose deck was worse, but from this point on, the decks are going to be improving kind of slightly after every game, because that's kind of the idea of it. I wanted the later decks to be better, and these 2 decks early on to be kind of trash to get them out of the way. Alright guys, for the third deck, we have a Graveyard Freeze. So as you guys can see, the decks are progressively getting a little better, but this Graveyard Freeze deck is definitely not the best deck in the world. I mean, as you can see, it does have the E-Drag in it, and the Executioner, cards that are like kind of okay, but not the greatest. So that's kind of the idea of it. We're saving the best cards for later. Alright guys, so now that we're in double elixir, let's go ahead and drop a bowler in the back to kick things off here. So he's going to go for a cage, so he's likely using a pretty expensive deck himself. Maybe he's running Golem, maybe he's using Recruit's Hogs, and now that we see the Zappies, very good chance that it is going to be Recruits. So let's go for an Executioner, same lane as the 2 Zappies and that Goblin Cage. We got Lumberjack in rotation as well, which we can drop in the left lane here. We're going to go for an Ice Wizard. Okay, so he is going to go for Defensive Barbell. He's playing very, very, you could kind of say defensively. We are as well, but I would kind of expect him to be applying more pressure right now. So he's going to go for the first Recruits of the game. The Bowler and Executioner are going to be incredible against those. So honestly, this is looking like a pretty good matchup for us, if I'm being honest. I'm going to NATO that Flying Machine in so it actually gets targeted by the tower. I think that that's very important there, because the Flying Machine we don't have a spell for, right? Like, we don't have a poison or a, you know, or a fireball to get rid of it, so we kind of need the towers to take it out, or need something like the E-Drag or the Xe to lock on. So let's go for a freeze here. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good freeze. It forces arrows out of him. We get a loads of damage right there on top of the tower. So now at this point, we pretty much just have to defend, because we know we can get damage really easily. So he's going to go for Royal Hogs. We got the Bowler for that. I feel like we just got a straight up hard counter here. Like, this is probably one of the best matchups we could ask for, even though Recruit's Hogs is way better than this deck we're using right now. I feel like the matchup is just amazing for us. So we kind of got blessed with this matchup, not even gonna lie. So very happy about that. Flying Machine coming in. We could probably just go ahead and drop an Ice Wizard on top of that Flying Machine. We're just gonna go for a Lumberjack here. And let's yeah, I think let's go for maybe an E-Drag. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves and, you know, and be over aggressive, because as you can see, he is pressuring, so I don't want to, you know, go Graveyard at the same time and then end up losing my tower. So that was a nice defense there. Now we'll definitely go in for the Graveyard. We're in triple elixir, have a ton of elixir that we can spend. We're gonna go ahead and freeze here, forces a Barbarrel out of him. Let's actually try to line up this nice with that NATO. Really good NATO there. Ended up getting us, well, it didn't take the tower. I was hoping it would actually get a second axe throw, but that was still really solid. We're just going to go for another Graveyard here, and as you guys can see, this guy pretty much can't really do anything, not even going to lie. Like, this is just a straight up brutal matchup for him. So we take this third game relatively easily. We got such a solid matchup here with the deck that is, it's not great, but at the same time, it's not that bad, I guess. Alright guys, so for the fourth deck, we got Log Bait, except we have Snowball instead of the Log to save it for later. But besides the Log, this is pretty much identical to what you'd expect in a Log Bait deck, except it does have E-Spirit instead of the Ice Spirit, but you can pretty much use any spell you want. It doesn't make, or any spirit you want in a Log Bait, it doesn't make a massive difference. Like Ice Spirit, Fire Spirit are also going to be good. So it's such a small change, but I'm just saving it for later on. So this guy's got Witch, Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang. So kind of a strange deck from this guy. Okay, so the Princess is gonna get arrowed away there. So we got the E-Spirit, which you can go for on this Witch. And then I'm also going to Snowball as well, just to mitigate chip damage. And, you know, I was full on Elixir anyway, so I might as well not leak. So go ahead and do that. Barrel gets sent in on the tower. Forces a Fireball out of him, so that means he doesn't have a log, I would assume, because otherwise he definitely would have gone for a log on top of that. So we know that he's got pretty much arrows and... He's got arrows and fireball as his spells, so I can deal with that. If he had arrows and log, that would be really, really annoying. But having fireball is definitely fine. It's not an amazing spell against bait decks, but we do see the arrows come down. Maybe we can get the king activated off of this firecracker here, unless he supports it with something. If not, we're just going to go ahead and E-Spirit, get our king tower activated nice and easy there, and starting this game off pretty solid, I'd say. It's really nice to get the king tower activated against someone else using Goblin Barrel, because the king tower does help a decent amount against that for sure. So we go Princess here, take out these archers, see what he does for the Princess, because he doesn't have arrows in rotation, and even if he did, I don't think arrowing the Princess would be a good play, because then we could pressure with the Goblin Barrel, of course. So let's see what he chooses to do here. He's going to go for his Valkyrie. So let's just go for a Knight here. And then I'm going to go for a Goblin Barrel in the front, so he has to react a little bit quicker to it. This might be a matchup where we may have to Rocket Cycle, just because he is using his Fireball on top of it. So him having two counters does make it a little tricky for sure to get that damage that we want from the Goblin Barrels. But with that being said, we can definitely try to make it work. We get the Knight down in time. Let's try to get a little bit of a juke here. Maybe he'll fall for it. I mean, there's a good chance he'll notice it, but you never really know. Oh, wow, he actually did miss one. I mean, that's a little bit of damage, nothing too crazy, but it's still something. I mean, it was, I guess, worth it to juke. We're going to actually go juke in the front this time, so once again, kind of like maybe potentially juking. Okay, so that time around, he ended up fireballing without missing it, so that was better on his end for sure. We get that E-Spirit down in time. Unfortunately, though, the Princess, is still going to get taken out. I'm going to go Knight to protect. He's not going for Goblin Barrels too often. I don't really know why, but he's kind of, he's just being very passive, which is strange, because I feel like he's got a very aggressive deck with the Firecracker and the Goblin Barrels, but we're just doing such a good job stacking the Princesses. I feel like that's kind of the reason why. Oh, nice. He wasn't able to take out that Goblin Barrel. I think he overcommitted with that Fireball, and yeah, as you can see, we're just starting to pressure him like crazy here. He's getting overwhelmed. We're going to go Knight right here. We're going to go Goblin Barrel. His arrows aren't in rotation, so this is going to be, I think, oh, okay, good Valkyrie, but we still have that one Goblin that forced archers out of him, so he had to overcommit there, which is really good. Let's go for a Princess like this. We've got an E-Spirit here. Okay, nice. That did stop that. Let's just go for a Snowball on top of that. He is going to... Okay, I kind of screwed up there. Not gonna lie, that was kind of bad. I wasn't paying attention to the left lane. I was so focused on the right. I think it's alright, though. Let's just go for a rocket here. Start our rocket cycle. And then let's go for a Goblin Barrel in the front. Maybe he'll miss the fireball this time. Okay, he didn't, but he overcommitted because he went archers and... I feel like that's quite a lot. Okay, we're definitely going to have to rocket here. We're going to go Goblin Barrel now. Let's see what he does. Do we get any damage? Yeah, we actually do. Okay, that's huge, that damage we just got. It might not seem too significant, but that helps us out quite a bit, I would say. E-Spirit does connect. That was a really valuable E-Spirit. Let's go. And then we just need to... Okay, let's go Goblin Barrel and Rocket, because it might hit something that he drops to defend the Goblin Barrel. Yeah, that did it. Nice! We're able to get the win there. So, nice win. Probably not the easiest of matchups. I mean, that Firecracker was really annoying, and he did have arrows and fireballs, so 2 spells for our log bait deck. But we managed to win and get a third of the way inside of the challenge now. Alright guys, so for our 5th game, we have this Bridge Spam deck, and this is actually the very first champion we're going to be using inside of the challenge. The Archer Queen, in my opinion, is the worst champion in the game, so I figured it would make the most sense to use her first before the others. Alright, so here we go guys. We got a Bridge Spam deck, like I said, with the Heal Spirit and the Zap as the spell. So, like I said, Archer Queen, worst champion in the game right now. It used to be the best, but ever since the Monk got a buff, the Monk also counters her really well. So the Archer Queen, in a way, did fall out of the meta a tiny bit. And right as I say that, we are playing against Monk right now, so that is kind of frustrating. Monk is really good against the Archer Queen, as I already said. But because he did just use the Monk, it could potentially be a good opportunity here to go in for our Archer Queen, because now he doesn't have the Monk in rotation to deal with her, and that's when she can end up getting a lot of value, even against decks that do have the Monk, when they don't have that Monk in rotation, obviously. So we can go ahead and pop the Archer Queen ability here. Fisherman won't be able to pull her as a result. Forces Goblins and Fireball out of him, so that's really, really good. He even gives us the well played. So what we could probably do is, because his Goblins are out of cycle now, we can go for a Battle Ram here. We'll also hit him up with a Heal Spirit. He's going to go for Archers. Let's go ahead and zap the Archers so they're one shot to the Ghost, which I think is going to be very good for us. And sure enough, we get the Barbarians on top of the tower. It forces Fisherman out of him, and look at that. We end up getting the Barb to connect. So really, really solid stuff there for us. He has his Monk in rotation, so we probably don't want to play our Archer Queen right now. What we probably want to do is cycle something like just a Bandit to force that Monk out of him, and then we could use the Queen after, like maybe playing her in the other lane. We also have to be kind of cautious about how we use the Magic Archer as well, because he has the Fireball, and the Monk is pretty good against the Magic Archer too, so we got to keep that in mind. So he is going to go for the Monk. I'd actually say let's cycle E-Barbs same lane, because the E-Barbs themselves are quite good against the Monk, to be honest. We're going to go for... Oh, that Heal Spirit's going to get reflected, so that was actually... Oh, wait, it didn't. What the heck? It usually does, but it still ended up healing that up, so that's good, I guess. I wasn't expecting that. We're going to go for a Battle Ram here, and then I'm going to go for a Queen because his Monk isn't in rotation, and then let's go ahead and Ghost in the other lane. That forced that out of him, so let's go ahead and pop the Queen ability here. Okay, let's see. Is he going to go for an RG? He hasn't gone for one yet, which is kind of interesting. Let's go for a Magic Archer here. Okay, there's the RG. So he finally does go for one. Get this going here. That gets healed up, which is great. Bandit is going to dash. So we're going to get a nice counter push. Even though he got a lot of damage there, this counter push could be pretty threatening. I guess we'll see what happens. He's got the Goblins, though, which are so valuable. Let's see. We can go Queen here, though, because his Monk ability is out of hand. He goes in for Archers. Let's get a Zap going for sure. Go Battle Ram in this lane. Force Archers out of him. This could be a very good counter push. I feel like he really overcommitted there. I guess we'll see, though. Goblins come down, but it's not going to be enough to stop that. And look at the left lane as well. Okay, yeah, I think he overcommitted with that RG. So that was really, really good right there for us. We're going to go Bandit at the bridge here. Pair it up with a Heal Spirit. It's probably going to force a Fisherman out of him. So let's get a Battle Ram going here. Heal Spirit will heal up the Bandit, allowing her to take out that Fisherman. And then let's get a Magic Archer going here on top of the Goblins. Line it up. Forces Archers out of him, and just like that, we kind of pull ahead into the lead, and now we're in an incredible position compared to he is. Even though he started out really, really good, I think he overcommitted with that RG Fisherman, and we were able to counter push off of that. So we're going to go Queen here at the bridge in the other lane, obviously, because he did just go for his Monk, and like I already said, we don't want to be playing our, Okay, he did just pop the Monk ability. We got to kind of watch out here now. He does go RG, but he plays it in the... other lane. Let's see. Oh, we got the zap down just in time. Just in time, we got that zapped out and winning us the game. That was insane. Let's go. Woohoo! Not an easy matchup at all, but we pulled through, and now we're almost halfway through this challenge. Alright guys, so for our 6th game, we got a drill deck with the Bomb Tower, Valkyrie, and Dark Goblin, so kind of like a drill spam pressure deck. I decided for this type of deck, Poison would make a lot of sense. I figured like Poison would be good. I was thinking about maybe Snowball as well, but I decided to go with Poison as the spell. So we go Drill Wallbreaker's first game here, and he's going to go 3 Musketeers. I just accidentally activated the King Tower, but I'm going to be honest, I feel like that's not that bad because of how much value we just got with that Poison in our first play of the game. But yeah, that was a misclick. I did not mean to do that. But it's okay because look at this matchup here. We're playing against 3 Musketeers, and we have Valkyrie, Bomb Tower, and Fire Spirit. I mean, I don't know if we could get really a better matchup here. The only thing is if he's got the Golden Knight, that's going to be really, really annoying, but he's actually got Mighty Miner. So this matchup is really, really solid for us. So even though, like, I activated the King Tower by mistake, we just got an insanely good matchup. Skeletons are going to come back around to help distract that Mighty Miner. Let's just go for a Fire Spirit at the bridge. Okay, that was, like, literally perfect timing. I think the drill in this placement allows it to not get targeted by the King Tower. Yeah, so I decided to drill in that placement, and the wall breakers do connect, and just like that, we just, wow, build like a massive lead. Despite us making that kind of big mistake activating the King Tower, like it didn't even matter at all. So Valkyrie on top of the Witch here, we end up taking her out. And now, guys, this is looking just better and better. Okay, so what is this guy's deck? This guy's got, like, a random deck. Remember the deck we used the first game? This guy probably has a deck that's almost as bad as that. He's got Wizard, Witch, 3 Musketeers. Like, I don't know what this guy was thinking here. We're going to go for a Skeleton Army there. All right, nice. So Dark Goblin coming in on the counter push. Now all we got to do is defend, and we're pretty much chilling. We didn't even use the Bomb Tower. Okay, right as I say that, now we go for the Bomb Tower. All right, so nice. Bomb Tower there on top of the Royal Hogs. We're going to just pressure with Wall Breakers right here in the opposite lane. We can pretty much just do what we want as long as we don't overcommit, because all we got to do is defend. Wall Breakers connect. He goes in for the Minion Horde. And yeah, I mean, we're just completely chilling here. We go for a drill on top of the tower. This guy's got a, what is this guy? I mean, who let this guy cook? Like, this deck is kind of crazy. I mean, like, he's got Rocket, 3 Musketeers, Mighty Miner. This guy's got, like, one of the most expensive decks you could really make, because every single card of his is at least 4 Elixir. And then he's got the, like, Rocket, the 3 Musketeers. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing here. We can go for a Fire Spirit. Just get a Valkyrie down, and we're pretty much chilling. In fact, I'm kind of surprised this guy managed to get to, 5 wins. I feel like that's kind of an accomplishment in and of itself with a deck like this, like, not even gonna lie. Like, I truly mean it as a compliment. I mean, this deck is quite wild, to say the least. But, hey, it makes my job easier, so I ain't even complaining. If we get these kinds of decks when we're already, like, halfway through the challenge, it just makes my life easier, really. So, there we go. That is going to put us officially at 6-0 now. So we're off to a fantastic start. All right, guys, so for the 7th game, we got a Pekka bridge spam deck with the Golden Knight. So a little bit of a weird synergy because it has the skeletons in it, but I decided to do that just to bring the cycle of the deck down a bit, because as you can see, even with the skeletons, it's already 4.4 average elixir. So let's get into the 7th game here. See if we can make this Pekka deck work. Hopefully we get a really nice matchup. Like, if we end up getting, like, Electro Giant or something, that would be insane. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like we are going to get that, and both of those wall breakers connect. That's really unlucky, but if he's using bats or something, our Mother Witch is going to get a lot of value, so that's very good. And we also see that he's got the Mighty Miner, which the Ewiz is really good against, and the Pekka is also quite good against the Mighty Miner as well. Let's see if he chooses to send that in the other lane, or if he just lets it be. He is going to send that in the other lane. So let's get a Golden Knight down with this Ewiz, just to have a little bit of a counter push going here. It does force goblins out of him. We're going to go for the Golden Knight dash, and nice, we actually get the Golden Knight on top of the tower, so that's a really nice start. We already kind of bounced back and got the damage that he got. We're going to cycle Dark Prince here. He is going to go for his Mighty Miner, so let's just get a Mother Witch going here. Let's see what he wants to do. Those are both going to connect. I don't think there's much we could do about that there, but let's try to go in and get a counter push at the very least. He can't go for goblins because of the Mother Witch. But you know what we can do? We can go Ram Rider here, because he just used his Bomb Tower. And this might actually be a lot of trouble for him. He goes log. He's going to have to go goblins, but the Ramrider's definitely going to connect. Yeah, there we go. So we get a connection from the Ramrider, so I'd say that's all right. We kind of have an okay start going here. The only issue is we don't really have any counter to his wall breaker, so those are pretty much going to connect every single time, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue, but we'll see what we can do, I guess. I did overcommit there to stop that, but I feel like it's worth it because I didn't want to give him the tower just yet. And now, after that, we could probably go ahead and, okay, he kind of just messed up his defense there a little bit. I'm going to go Pekka in the back in this lane. Let's see what he wants to do. He's going to go for a Mighty Miner. Let's just get skeletons going here. Alright, we're going to give him the tower. I'm hoping we can just kind of counter push now and take his. We do have the lightning, so... Okay, nice. That's huge. We just took his tower. Alright, so we're in this game still. Let's cycle Dark Prince. I think we're in an amazing position compared to him, actually. Because now the momentum's just completely in our favor after that. Just completely in our favor, the momentum. So we'll cycle Ewiz, same lane. He's getting really aggressive. I feel like we're probably going to win at this point. I don't know. I just have a really good feeling about the position we're in right now. So we're going to get a dual lane push going. Bomb isn't even going to take out the Mother Witch there. So now we're going to get a split push. We're going to have a Pekka in both lanes. Those wall... Yep, this is it. It's over. Those were like desperation wall breakers. I mean... He pretty much... Maybe he's going to try to cycle back to like another set of minor wall breakers. But unless they connect, like... I mean, it's over for him. Yeah, that Miner's Desperation. Look at that. We just completely just came back from that kind of rough start. I think he overcommitted and kind of underestimated our counter push. That's exactly what happened. So that is now going to put us at 7-0 inside of this challenge. Absolutely nuts. All right, guys. So for the 8th game, we have a Sparky deck. Goblin Giant Sparky with Rage and the Elixir Collector, because why not? Alright, so we're in a game here against Darian, so we can just go ahead and split Zappies to start this game off and see what he wants to do. So he's going to go for a Heal Spirit. So I think what we could do is we could probably go Bats in the other lane, see kind of like what he wants to cycle. Okay, so he's going to go for a Dark Prince. We probably can go ahead and just Sparky, same lane as that Dark Prince. I think that's fine. There's a good chance he might be running a Sparky type of deck as well, since we do see the minions. I'm going to go for a Mega Minion. And, like, let's see if he wants to pair anything else up with that Giant. If not, I'm probably going to go ahead and get a Goblin Giant going here. And then we could Rage with this, but I probably want to wait to see what he drops, because he might drop something like a, I was going to say, like a Skarmy. Let's get a Rage going on top of this Sparky here. Does splash the tower. He ends up going in for nothing. He just kind of lets that be. Okay, so pretty good start to this game. He's kind of got an interesting Giant deck here. He's got the Heal Spirit with it and minions. I don't actually know if he's using Sparky. It's kind of hard to say, but let's get an Elixir Collector going here because he doesn't have his Miner in cycle, so it's probably a pretty good time to go for a Collector. And then let's get Zappies going like this. He is going to go for minions, so those are all going to get kited over to the middle. Mini Pekka here. Those are all going to the Collector, so that's not good for us. I guess it's alright, but that wasn't ideal for sure. We're going to go in here, though. We got a Goblin Giant, we got Bats, and then we're probably going to Rage it up. And I don't think he's going to be able to defend. I could be wrong, but I don't see him defend. Yep, he can't defend that. He's just got nothing. He just had no elixir for that. So we just have to either defend now, or do we just go for the second tower? I feel like we probably could go for the second tower. Maybe let's do this, like a 2-1 split, so we have a little bit of defense in the right lane, but then we're also helping the left lane a little bit at the same time. So Sparky coming in the left lane here. He is going to go for a Giant, and he's going to go minions with it, so I'm actually not going to do anything else. I pretty much know he's going to get the tower no matter what, so I'm not going to over-defend. I feel like that would be a mistake. Let's just go bats here to make sure that he doesn't 3-crown us, and then we're going to go for a rage. And I feel like we're going to get the tower right here. Yeah, there we go. We do get the tower. So there we go, guys. Really, really kind of smooth game, even though we kind of had a similar... I mean, our decks actually weren't that similar. It was pretty much just the mini Pekka for the most part that was the same. But besides that, I mean, I guess we both kind of had like a spam deck, sort of. Like, just kind of a very aggressive deck. But we ended up taking that one, putting us now at 8-0 inside of the challenge. We're 2/3 of the way done. Let's go. All right, guys. So for the 9th game, I have 2.6 Hog Cycle, except I have Earthquake instead of the Fireball just to save the Fireball for a later game. All right, guys. So we found our next game here against this Japanese player. Let's go ahead and cycle an Ice Spirit at the bridge to kick things off here. With 2.6, you obviously want to be typically... Okay, I don't know why that guy just did that, but definitely kind of lucky because I don't think he knew we were using Musketeer or something like that, but... Maybe he was just trying to predict something that I played in the middle. I'm not really sure, though. Either way, let's go Goblins here, and let's see what he wants to do. Okay, he's going to go Archers, so he's just using kind of like a meta minor wall breaker deck, most likely, with probably... Oh, I just misclicked the Earthquake. Well, there goes my surprise Earthquake instead of the Fireball. But I suppose it's alright, but yeah, that was definitely... a pretty big mistake there. I was trying to play a Hog, not that. So we just go Ice Spirit here, go for an Ice Golem. And I guess we're alright. I mean, that's going to be defended without too much trouble, I guess. But yeah, that was really, really annoying that happens. I'm going to go Hog here. I kind of want to see what building he has. Alright, he's got... Alright, so this is going to be a really, really bad matchup. Even though I did misclick that Earthquake, it's still definitely a hard matchup because... The Bomb Tower is an insane counter to the Hog, and even though we have an Earthquake instead of Fireball, I still think it's going to be really, really tricky. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. Alright, so he's going to go Goblins. I don't think I need Ice Spirit, but I might just do it anyway, because I can't really afford to take any chip damage, so I'm doing it kind of like just in case. So let's go for an Ice Golem and a Hog here, knowing that his Bomb Tower isn't in rotation, just to see if we can... Okay, so he did get back to it after cycling the Archers. His cycle is really, really quick, so we can't even really outcycle the Bomb Tower either. Let's go for a Musk here. Yeah, both the wall breakers connected. Yeah, this matchup kind of sucks. Let's see. I guess there's a chance of coming back if he chokes or something, but I kind of doubt it. Go for an Earthquake here. Alright, so we go again with 2.6 since we did end up losing, unfortunately. I could have definitely played better at the beginning. The mistakes certainly didn't help us, but it still would have been a pretty tough match, I think, regardless. So it looks like here we're going to be against Electro Giant. So definitely a hard matchup as well, since he does have the Cannon and the Tornado. But I definitely think it's more winnable just because there's more outplay potential. But we'll see what happens here. So we go for a Cannon here. He tried to go Dark Prince to protect, but he kind of messed that up. So let's actually go ahead and pressure with a Hog Rider, since we know that his Tornado isn't in rotation. He's actually got a Bandit, so he's got a different variation of Electro Giant. I will have to let that Dark Prince connect, because otherwise I won't be able to afford a counter to the Bandit. But luckily he didn't charge on the tower, he just connected, so that's good for us at least. Yeah, I don't know what kind of variant of E-Giant this is. This is very strange. Like, he's got the Bandit in it and the Dark Prince, so it's kind of more of a bridge spammy type of version. So we'll see if he ends up having the Cannon or not. If he doesn't have the Cannon, that's going to help us a lot, because then we only have to outcycle one Hog counter instead of two. So let's see what he's got. So he goes in for the dash with the Golden Knight. Let's just go for an Ice Golem here. Definitely want to keep that off of the tower. And then I think, okay, yeah, we're going to go Hog Rider. Definitely good timing because he did just go Lightning. Of course, he probably will go Tornado, but he actually doesn't. What the heck? And somehow he got back to another Golden Knight dash really quickly. I'm kind of surprised about that. But anyway, let's go for an Ice Spirit here. And then we're just going to surround the Dark Prince with the Goblins. I'm hoping that's going to be enough of a distraction. It's Yeah, I probably should have logged. I guess that's alright, but let's go for a log here. I'm going to go for an ice golem and a hog rider here, just to make it harder for him to go for the tornado, because the ice golem being there, but, oh yeah, wow, he actually did mess up the tornado, so we just cycle an earthquake. Let's go for a log, and then get goblins down, and then we'll go for a cannon. He'll probably go lightning, but it's okay, because then we can just go musketeer and ice spirit, and we should be okay. Actually, we probably don't even need an ice spirit, that lightning was so late. So we just go for an ice golem here. Hog rider once again, we get a push going, and then let's go for... Okay, the log was going to push something back. He dropped, but he didn't even drop anything, so the hog got a connection. Maybe he didn't expect the hog to get a connection, but I knew a lightning wasn't going to be enough to deal with it. So just pressure with an ice spirit here. Let's see what he chooses to do. Okay, he goes in for Dark Prince. Let's pre-place a cannon, just because I have a feeling he's going to want to go for a push pretty soon. Let's go ice golem. Let's go for a hog rider, and then let's go for a actually an earthquake on top of all that. He does go for a tornado. This time he doesn't mess it up, so good job on his end. We'll just go for a log here. We'll get a musketeer cycled in the back, and we should be able to defend this relatively easily. We just have to watch out for the golden knight. We go for like a high cannon here like this, and he's actually not back to a tornado yet, so I have a feeling this hog is probably going to get at least one connection. It actually, wow, it gets 2 shots. I didn't expect to get 2 hits with his King Tower activated and the bandit and the bomber, but sure enough, it was able to get 2 connections. That's going to put us at 9-1, so we just have to get 3 more wins now to complete the challenge. All right, guys, so for the 10th game, we got a Mortar Miner deck here. A little bit of a different variation, though. As you can see, it has the Prince, Spear Goblins, and Barbell in it. A little different, but you have to make some changes, of course, when you want to win a Grand Challenge with every single card in the game. So we got Mortar, Minion Horde, Miner, Barbell. Let's see what this guy wants to do. If he doesn't do anything, we could potentially just start things off with a Barbell here. This deck is probably going to confuse him, because I can tell you right now, I don't think many people have faced a Mortar deck like this before. So he does go in for his Goblins. I'm going to go ahead and get a Phoenix down on top of those so they don't deal a ton of damage. And then, okay, he's actually got a Inferno. So he's got Inferno Goblins. I'm kind of confused what deck this is. I don't actually know yet. Okay, so he's got a Dark Prince. I'm going to actually go ahead and cycle a Prince. He might actually be using Rocket, the Miner control deck with Rocket. I feel like there's a very good chance of that. What we probably want to do is go for Spear Goblins to distract that Inferno so the Prince doesn't just get wrecked and it actually applies some pressure. So he's going to go Goblins. Let's see what he does here. I'm thinking we should definitely get a Mortar down. I'm waiting for the Mighty Miner to move up so we can't Rocket them both. He goes in for an Ice Spirit. And he goes in for delivery. Okay, so this might actually be a good opportunity for us to potentially get like a minor Minion Horde here, because he doesn't have his delivery in cycle anymore. So let's go for a Minion Horde on this, and then we're going to go for a Miner, because his delivery is out of rotation. It forces... Okay, so he's got Poison. So he's got delivery and Poison in the same deck. That's kind of annoying, not going to lie, but we'll try to work our way around that. Yeah, okay, so he's got both. Dang. Yeah, I was not expecting that. That's kind of rough, but at least now we know we can't be Rocket cycled. And stuff like the Phoenix and the Prince definitely can get some value even when they do have a Poison, so we'll see what we can do, I guess. We'll cycle Phoenix in the back now. Let's see if he decides to go for a Miner or something. He just goes Ice Spirit. Okay, he Miners in the other lane. We get Spear Goblins down here. And then let's go ahead and go for a Mortar, I think, and see what he wants to do. He does go for a Dark Prince. Let's get a Mighty Miner here. And the Mortar actually is going to lock on the tower, so I feel like pretty big mistake on his end to allow that to happen. Definitely like a massive mistake for sure. The Mortar's getting like loads of damage on his tower. That's actually nuts. So Barbell there on top of that. Let's see here. I'm going to wait for the Inferno to kind of die a little bit more. Okay, that Dark Prince is going to get pulled back, and maybe we actually get a... Yeah, nice! Another Mortar lock on top of the tower. I don't know how this guy's allowing this to happen, but this is kind of crazy. He actually has to Miner the, Okay, nice. So even though we don't have a big spell in our deck, he's kind of making enough mistakes to where it doesn't really matter that much. It looks like we're going to be able to close out this game just from the Mortars alone. Miner actually locks on the tower. This guy's having just such a really, really difficult time with these Mortars, as you can tell. Mortar's not going to get a lock there, though, but we're just keeping the pressure on, and, like, I feel like at this point it's going to be really, really difficult for him to come back. It's going to take a miracle at this point We're going to go Miner here. He's going to go for a Poison instead of going Delivery. Prince connects to the tower, and just like that, we take that game. I mean, we kind of made it look easy. It wasn't actually that close. Maybe this Mortar deck isn't actually that bad as it looks. Alright guys, so for the 11th game, we have a Lava Loom deck with Skeleton King and Barbarian's Tombstone. So the defense of this deck is absolutely nuts. Alright guys, so we're in a game here against Timo2. So we got Tombstone Cycle. We could just start off things here with a Tombstone. It's a pretty safe starting play. He's got Archers, so this could be some type of cycle deck, like just Archers, like Mighty Miner, Wall Breakers, Mortar, a few different things it could be. We see he's got the Tombstone, so maybe he's running... Could be Graveyard, that Graveyard Mighty Miner deck. I guess we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and Lava Hound here. Okay, he's actually got a Balloon. Wow, so let's get minions down. I don't know if he's got arrows or not. I guess we'll find out. Okay, yeah, he probably doesn't since he didn't go arrows there. I kind of doubt it. We're going to have to get an Inferno Drag down here, though. It's good he just cycled his Inferno Drag in the other lane because now he doesn't have it for the Lava Hound. And, of course, we have arrows for his Archers, so that's very good for us as well. Let's actually get a Balloon going here. It's kind of aggressive, but that Valkyrie's kind of annoying, and I don't know how I'm going to defend it. I guess we kind of have to go Tombstone. That's like... Oh, man, this matchup is so rough. He's got arrows, Inferno Drag, and Archers. This is such a difficult matchup. I don't know how we're going to be able to win this. Not to mention the Valkyrie's also very good against the Skeleton King and the Barbarians. This guy's kind of got a full-on counter here, I'd say. So let's, I guess we'll see what we can do. It's not going to be easy, though. So this guy's actually got a Lava Hound deck himself. Very interesting. It's a Lava deck with the Valkyrie and the, we know he's got Balloon as well. So let's get I guess an Inferno Drag down here. We're going to go for arrows. I think it's alright because we could probably just go for a Tombstone on the Balloon like this to distract. Should be alright. The only thing is we know he's got arrows, but... Alright, that didn't take the tower, so we do have that going for us, but this is probably going to be a loss. Such a brutal, brutal matchup, unfortunately. Let's get a Lava Hound down. Gonna go for a Balloon. The Balloon's not going for the Tombstone. But it's just such a horrible matchup, it doesn't even matter. This guy's got basically the whole arsenal here. Fireball, arrows. We need to hope he like chokes or something. Because it ain't looking good. No way. Is he gonna throw, potentially? He had a straight up hard counter and we almost won. I tried, though. It was so close. 10-2. Let's see if we can win 2 in a row. We'll go minions here on his miner. And then let's actually pressure with a balloon. It's very aggressive, but I just want to see maybe if we can catch him off guard. And if he doesn't have a good counter to it in rotation. He does have archers, but the archers didn't come down in time. We managed getting like a big time connection there. I'm going to go Skelly King. And then we're going to go Tombstone here. Okay, perfect. That's going to be countered really nicely there. And then, you know what that means? It's probably time to go for a lava. Okay, so this matchup isn't that bad. Not that bad. Because his only air counter, I'm pretty sure, is archers. And we have arrows for that. Perfect time to go Lava Hound, because he doesn't have his Mighty Miner or Wall Breakers in cycle. He does have that, and we need to arrow that, unfortunately. And now it means we don't have a counter to the archers, but it's we kind of had to, because just, you know, I didn't really, well, have a choice. I'm going to go Inferno Drag here instead of the Balloon, because the Balloon will probably be pretty easy for him to defend. This is probably going to force, okay, he goes Mighty Miner. Mighty Miner Wall Breakers. We're going to go Skelly King kind of like this. He's probably going to, okay, yeah, he poisons that. Maybe we're going to get a little bit of damage. It's not going to be anything crazy, but still not bad, I guess. And then if he goes Miner Goblins, I'm going to go Minions to take them out. I feel like that's the play because, or we could actually go Tombstone here. That might be a better option. Having a Tombstone set up here before I go Lava. That's generally like a very defensive play. That's smart to do. Oh, nice. The Skeletons are going to go for the Miner because he played in the front. So that's really good for us, actually. So let's set up a Lava Hound here. See what he wants to do. Okay, he's going to go Archers. Do we arrow those immediately or do we wait? I feel like I should probably arrow them immediately, even though I know he can cycle back to another. Oh, wow, really bad Wall Breakers. So that's great for us. Okay, so once again, we're going to need to go Skelly King like this, so he can't really send the Mighty Miner in the other lane. The Archers are going to take that out really easily, unfortunately. I don't think there's too much we could really do about that. But the Lava's still going to get a lot of damage. And it's a perfect time to go Lava in the back here. So now we're kind of, yeah, setting up a push at this point. He's going to go for that same lane. I'm going to need to arrow this, and we're probably going to go Skelly King on top of the Archers if they don't cross the bridge. If they, yeah, the Mighty Miner is tanking for them. So I am going to have to go Skelly King here to take out those Archers, obviously. We're going to go ahead and pop the ability. I think this should be good. He's going to go Archers, but the Lava might still be able to get a little bit of chip damage, which is nice. Forces Goblins out of him because we have all the Skellies down. He goes in for, go Barbarians, I guess it's alright. See, does he? Yeah, he does go for a poison. We're going to get a Lava on the back here. Should be alright. He goes Mighty Miner. That's going to lose a good chunk of its health, though, to the Inferno Drag. We use Skelly King here. Go Minions, I guess. And then we'll probably go ahead and go for a Balloon. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is the push I think we need, because he just cycled Archers, so I don't think he can get back to another set of Archers in time. Could be wrong, though. Don't want to jinx it. Could be wrong. We just need death damage from the Balloon, and then we pretty much have this in the bag, I feel like. Yeah, because the Love Hub's connected. There we go. We get the death damage from the Balloon, and you know what that means, guys. We are 11-2 right now, and what's good is I have, the last deck I have saved is probably the best deck we got here in the arsenal. What better deck than RG Monk? The only thing is it's a little different because, as you can see, we do have, you know, no Log or Barb Barrel, so no small spell. We have a Fireball, so good spell with it. We have Hunter and Archers. Archers are absolutely broken this meta. Monk is pretty good. RG's a good win condition, so let's see if we can pull it off. Here we go, 11-2. Can we close it out and get the 12 wins with 96 different cards inside of the game? All right, so we're in a game here against Boomer. We have a Cage in cycle. Let's see if this guy wants to make the first play. We probably could pretty safely make the first play. Let's go for a Cage. It's only going to be like a 3 elixir Cage because by the time he responds to it, we already leaked like 1 elixir. So he's got Archers. Let's see what else he's got or if he's going to do anything. Okay, he's going to go for a Golden Knight. So he's got Archers and Golden Knight. Very good chance this is Electro Giant. So it's actually a really good thing I have Cage. That's going to help a lot defending the E-Giant. And he's going to go Phoenix. So let's get a Hunter going here. He might go for a dash with the Golden Knight. Or no. So the hunter will be able to take all that out, which is great. Okay, he's going to go E-Giant. Very aggressive E-Giant. And actually, as you can see, the... I feel like he might have just messed up there. That was, like, very aggressive. He's even calling the well played. Bar Barrel's out of hand. Let's see what he does here. He's going to go Cannon. Guards, though, are going to reach the tower. He's probably going to go Archers. Yeah, there they are. I'm going to go Fireball immediately on top of them. RG's getting shots on top of the tower. Already an incredible, incredible start for us. So, we mostly, for the most part, just have to defend. But we still need to get another RG through, obviously. Because we can't, like, Fireball cycle. We're nowhere near that point. But this is, like, an excellent, excellent start. Without a doubt. So we're going to go ahead and cycle a Hunter here. He's going to go Golden Knight. If he gets really aggressive with an E-Giant, we have Cage and cycle, we have Fisherman. So we should probably be okay, I'm hoping. So let's get a Monk down, same lane here. He is going to go for a Phoenix. The Hunter should be able to take care of that Golden Knight. And now that he doesn't have the Golden Knight, we can go ahead and go Archers here. He is going to go for an Electro Giant. We're going to get a Cage going here. Let's go ahead and pop the ability. So that way it prevented him from going Bar Barrel. So that was good for us there. Does he play the Bar Barrel now? Maybe, but let's go for an RG here. Okay, he's probably gonna... Where's the cannon gonna... Alright, I'm gonna hold off on the Fireball. I think, like, let's just let that be. Because he overcommitted a ton. We don't have to apply pressure there. He spent a lot. We should go Archers here. Let's get a Hunter going. And then try to get to get a Monk RG push going. That should be kind of our plan right now. So we go Monk here. Gonna pop the ability, and then let's get a Cage set up. We should be able to defend here. I'm pretty confident. We could maybe even get like a good Fireball. We're gonna hit like quite a lot. We're gonna hit the Phoenix, the Golden Knight, as well as the... We just have to be cautious about the... Yeah, I was gonna say the Golden Knight. I think we're all right though. Archers there. It's a lot of damage. That's a lot. Oh, and look at the Phoenix. I think he just lost. That's an overcommitment. We go in here. Pop the Monk ability. And RG locks on the tower. Do we get a second connection that we need? No, we do not get that second connection. Okay, but the Hunter got so much value there. Can't at all complain with that. We're going to go Guards just to keep that Phoenix from getting damage. We're going to go Cage. Okay, he goes in for an E-Giant. So let's get a Fisherman here. We're going to get a Monk for that Golden Knight. And that's going to be defended really nicely, I think. Okay, that was aggressive. So even though he got damage, I don't know if that was worth it or the play. Because we can go RG here now. I'm going to Fireball any value he gives us. Okay, that's value there, the Archers, for sure. That is big time value. We're going to get a Monk down. Does the RG get a shot? No, it doesn't. He also blocked the bridge with that Monk. But we can still pop the ability here. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's in range. Yeah, it's not in range. Okay, Archers here on top of this Golden Knight. Come on, come on, come on. How much damage does a Fireball do? It's kind of blanking out on me right now. Can we cycle 2 Fireballs to win us the game? I don't think we can. Okay, Monk in front here of this RG. We're really just trying to get this last damage that we so desperately need. RG's on the tower, Fireball coming in, and we got it. And guess what, guys? We actually got this first attempt. This is probably the hardest challenge we have done thus far, and I have actually got it done first try. We managed to get 12 wins inside of a grand challenge. We got 12 wins inside of a grand challenge using 96 different cards in the game. That means every single game we used 8 different cards, and we managed to complete the challenge. That is absolutely insane. So... hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed playing this challenge, and I just can't believe I got this first try because some of the easier challenges, on paper, they're easier, took me more tries. This one we got done the very, very first try. Absolutely insane.